My, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 2, I Love You, Brother. What an interesting episode this was. Absolutely fantastic. Basically, no one watches these reviews, by the way. It's really quite annoying, because it's such a good show. And basically, no one wants to watch me review a really good show. But I don't care. I'm going to labour on. Okay? I'm going to labour on. So, hit subscribe if you're new, folks. Do hit that thumbs up button, because... yeah, it'd be good to get some interaction on a positive video for a change. This was a really, really good episode. Now, obviously, the sort of aftermath of the child being slaughtered, decapitated, was, yeah, it was there thick and fast, that's for sure. So, full spoilers. We're going to talk full spoilers. Daemon, played by Matt Smith, of course, said, hey, go murder some child. Like, if you can't find... the other boy, then the prince, then go murder the other one. Who cares? Just go kill anyone. It's fine. And the aftermath from that was pretty much straight away, but it was so beautifully shot. The sound completely sort of muffled, and sort of chaos, the hectic nature of it all. Really, really well done with the use of sound, and then the use of cinematography, the sort of hyper focus, the racking focus here and there, and it was just chaos. It was absolute chaos. Everyone being rounded up from within the castle grounds. It was, yeah, beautifully done. Beautifully done. And the sort of raw revenge that you can feel from grief wanting to set in and people wanting to do certain things. And yeah, certain things get done. Boy, howdy do they get done. So, two stories, of course. One to the other. And then we'll progress forwards with the end of the episode. Rhaenyra and Daemon... they're sat dealing with the aftermath, and sort of Daemon's like, I didn't do this. He denies it, of course. And Rhaenyra pulls him to her chambers, like, I don't trust you. And there's this really bitter argument between the two of them, and you can feel that Daemon really did want to. Of course, we knew he wanted to be king. But he says some home truths to Rhaenyra as well. Says that, no, you weren't given the crown because X, Y, and Z. You want power, but you're not. You're afraid to spill blood to attain it, and glory and things like this. And Rhaenyra sends him off, kind of. Basically gives him some home truths and says, "I can't trust you. My dad didn't trust you. Your brother didn't trust you. Go." Sort of thing. So he leaves off on his dragon. Now we know from interviews that actually he's going to be gone for a really long time. Don't expect him to come back to interact with Rhaenyra again for a while, because he said in interviews that it was a shame that he didn't work alongside her and share scenes with her for a lot of the series. So he's, from interviews, it sounds like he's going to be gone for a while. Okay, but that's great, because he's a really interesting character. He is the most interesting character, actually, and I'm going to be intrigued to see what he does, where he goes, and what he does, and how it sort of puzzles into the broader landscape of the Game of Thrones, i.e. vying for power of the kingdom. Now, the Hand, Otto Hightower, has a fantastic idea, which is, hey, people don't like you, people don't like us, there's people's allegiances are all over the place, let's do a funeral procession, let's curry sympathy from everyone, and villainize Rhaenyra. They don't want to do it, but they do, and it works. People are like, yep, cool, excellent, we love you, king, fantastic. But what does he do? Well, they catch it was one of the guards anyway that decapitated the boy. Apparently he was found walking around with it. And I will say this, the funeral procession of the boy, I did think for 1 second that the boy was going to fall off and the head was going to fall off as well. It didn't look like it, but this is the art of good storytelling. Writing things which appear to happen in a smart way and then don't, but there's other things which, take precedent and there's other payoff elsewhere. So you're not building for something and then it doesn't happen and you're bitterly disappointed, right? There was some really interesting stuff going on with that funeral procession. But anyway, so they capture the guy that does actually do it. King beats the living shit out of him, but does say that, he does say before he obviously dies, that one of the rat catchers helped him. And then, all in an instant, out of anger and revenge and brutality, the king hangs every single rat catcher. Publicly to everyone. Thus, destroying all the goodwill that they had gained. But also, quite nicely. There was a little dog. The rat catcher's dog was there, sitting down and crying for his owner. Because obviously people were quite annoyed that he got the boot last episode. Apparently no dogs were hurt, no dogs were injured. But I have a special place for terriers in my heart because I have a terrier as a dog. So it was very cute to see one of them. And then what happens? Well, we're seeing this sort of stuff happen in... I can't remember what it was called. The Corlys Valerian, his kingdom. I think his name's Corlys anyway. And Abubakar Salim plays Aline or Alin. I'm interested. I really like Abubakar Salim as an actor. I'm interested to see what he does and where he's going, because there seems to be a story there, him sort of trying to curry favour with the king unwittingly with his brother, but maybe not, who knows. It's kind of all over the place, but it is interesting. It's interesting to see. And then the sort of massive thing about the whole episode is Sir Eric's brother is sent from King's Landing to Dragonstone, because they're twins, to go and murder Rhaenyra under the guise of Criston Cole. Sir Criston Cole, a guy who is very clearly riddled with guilt for his own actions, and I don't know whether he did that because he thinks people know and he thinks that Sir Eric knows, but it did seem to stem from this sort of... It was almost revenge, to be honest. It was really weird behaviour. They got on a bit of a tizzy and he said, you know, you can reclaim your glory, go and murder your brother. Well, go and murder, Rhaenyra, disguised as your brother. So he does try and go there, and both of them die. And it's a really brutal fight scene. Brutal fight scene. Sir Eric gets his leg hacked up. The other chap, like his brother, the guy from, I can't remember his name, from King's Landing, puts his hand in the wound. I mean, it's just gross. It's really disgusting. But it's a great fight scene. And it sort of just ends on this very somber tone. Because not only did that all happen, but Otto Hightower gets demoted as the Hand. Yes. I did think for a second, again, this is the art of good storytelling. Things sort of lay in the framework for tension, and you thinking something's going to happen, but subverting the expectation but paying it off with something else. So what happens is, Otto Hightower comes in, lambasts the king, and says, you've undone all the goodwill we've garnered by hanging all the rat catchers. And the king's like, I had to do something. Criston Cole did something. He's like, what the fuck did you do? Gets told about, of course, Sir Eric going to... Well, Sir Eric's brother going to Dragonstone and doing all this, blah, blah, blah. And Otto Hightower goes mental. The Hand goes mental at the king. And the king goes, give me a badge. Give it to Criston Cole. Give it to Sir Criston Cole. So now Criston Cole is going to be the Hand, which is a recipe for disaster. Absolutely unequivocally a recipe for disaster. It's not going to be smart, but it will be interesting to see how the king goes unleashed on the kingdom. Because he is unleashed now. His mother and her father, the Hand, cannot control him. And that's a recipe for disaster. But it was really interesting because I thought he was going to get murdered, or at least some form of physical violence. It did seem like it was sort of edging that way. Some great use of focus. Just really nice shots, you know, shot of the Hand removing the badge, zooming up onto the eyes here. It was beautiful cinematography, and that's kind of where we're at, really. It's a great season. You should watch it if you're not. But that's it. I love the episode. I'm so keen to see what happens moving forwards. But it ended on a really somber note. I wonder what will happen now, picking up the pieces moving forwards. Who's going to do what? Only one way to find out. Watch it next week, I guess. I can't wait. Anyway, hit subscribe if you're new here. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.